Hey folks, today I want to chat with you about Leo season, and actually I'm going to do something a little different. I want to zero in on a transit that's going on so that it's just easier for you to navigate. And you probably already know what this one is, maybe if you've been keeping up with the astrology. So Mercury is actually going to be retrograde during Leo season. It goes retrograde on August 4th till the 28th. And Leo season is from July 22nd to August 22nd. So, for the most part of Leo season, Mercury will be retrograde, or at least half of it. So let's talk about Leo season to kind of get the understanding, the backdrop that's going on. So the sun represents our creative expression, our confidence, our truth, our action, interests. It's our light of the intellect. And so we are really focused on Leo things during the season. And so Leo season marks the middle of summer. It's a very stabilizing energy being fixed. So, we're in the middle. The weather is pretty consistent. Our energy is pretty consistent. And we're focusing on what sustains our spirit and gives us a sense of vitality. This is the ideal time for that. When we were in Cancer season, that was a time to focus on the body, our emotional well-being, our family, which is our extension of ourselves. And now within Leo season, we can shift our focus to ourselves, who we are, who we want to represent, and how we are ruling our home, our kingdom, our queendom. So we're shifting our attention to our expressing our authentic selves and protecting what's ours. Very much Leo. And so that's like the big picture view of this, this season. But on August 4th, let me go ahead and share my screen. On August 4th, Mercury stations retrograde. So with it being in Virgo, 4 degrees in Virgo. And so, oh yeah. So Mercury retrograde is about reviewing, rethinking, restructuring, even replanning and reworking the area of life that Virgo is in, and that being Virgo. So you want to see what house is ruled by Virgo in your natal chart to get some insight on what is being reviewed. And I also have been I've been really interested in solar return charts. And so you might even want to look at your solar return chart and where Virgo is placed there. And that will give you some insight specifically on what's happening within this year and how Mercury is shifting things for you. But before it actually goes retrograde, we enter the shadow period. So that is actually on July 17th. And I'm sitting at this video before the shadow. And, or is it before I think I'm doing it before the shadow. Anyways, if you're watching it now, before the shadow, it's great, because that will give you a heads up of what this lesson, this Mercury retrograde lesson is about. So on July 17th, Mercury will hit 21 degrees in Leo, which is the degree that Mercury stations direct on August 28th. So this is like him moving all the way back into Leo, stations direct, and then hits it. So right now he's direct, and I'm recording this on July 10th. He's in 12 degrees of Leo. So the shadow period has not begun until, again, the 17th. So yeah, in 7 days, we'll start getting these inklings of what this retrograde is about, and can kind of just take note of that. And then on August 4th, to kind of just go ahead and move forward, Mercury will station retrograde. So you can see it stationing here with the S. And that's when the issues really start to rise and you can no longer ignore it. The issues that's been dormant for the past 3 months are now front and center, and it's ready for you to start problem solving. So Mercury, I didn't even tell you what Mercury is about because maybe you're new to astrology, but Mercury is about communication, it's about the rational mind, it's about how you see the world, like your perception, like the purest form, I guess you could say, without adding meaning. You see a tree. That is a tree. But and it's also about like how you plan and move in the world in a rational way. And so when Mercury is direct, this is kind of like the time when you're like pushing your own agenda and your own plans. But when it goes retrograde, this is a time where we step back and see where we actually fit in the world, where we actually fit, or how our plans fit in our life, and not the time to push and try to make things work because if you do, you either have to redo it again during the retrograde cycle or when it goes direct. Things might be delayed or denied. And you're just basically making it harder to get things done. So if you don't have to sign a contract, if you can just, step back, this is ideal. Now I know we don't live in a world that is astrologically centered. So people make deals during retrograde. People have to get things done. You might have to buy a car, which is also Mercury represents transportation. And, that's just life. But just know if that is the case for you, you might deal with delays. You might deal with having to redo things and, or like rewrite a contract or what have you. It's just going to make it a harder process for you to get it done. So yeah, 4 degrees in Virgo. If you have any planets that are in mutable signs, so that's Virgo, that's Sagittarius, that's Pisces, that's Gemini, all the mutable signs near 4 degrees, this Mercury retrograde is especially going to affect you. If you are Mercury ruled, if you're a Virgo, if you're a Gemini, your main three, rising, sun, or moon, you will especially feel this month because Mercury rules your sign. Yeah, so I know like for me, I have to pace myself and how I can talk. I mean, naturally already I like jump over my words, so I'm practicing, speaking with more pauses. But yeah, just like if you're noticing you're having issues with communications, getting plans moving along, this is just Mercury being the trickster, being the teacher, bringing up information of your subconscious that needs to be processed. I personally don't think the planets are out to get you. They just have their own agenda and we are within it. And we can either work with it or work harder and try to go against it. I personally have been learning that it's best to work smarter, not harder. And so if you understand nature, you understand your nature, you can work with it. And it's just better in the long run. Less energy, especially when you're getting older. And I'm getting older and tireder. It's just better to work with nature. Yeah, so we have Mercury going retrograde from August 4th to the 28th. And so again, this is a time to rethink things through, reorganize, reassociate. This is our time for our mind to rest. And so we're not getting mixed up on our own imagination and what we want things to happen and what actually is true. We want to get a clearer sense of what's true. So you can only do that if you step back, if you observe what's going on. August 18th, oh, and you do want to continue to watch this video because I'm going to give some breakdowns based off the rising sign. I meant to say that in the beginning, but based off your rising sign, I will give you insight on how, or like what Mercury is kind of opening up for you to review. On the 18th, August 18th, we have the Cazimi, the inferior conjunction with the sun. So Mercury at 26 degrees. This is actually my ascendant, so this is going to be interesting for me. This is a time when it's like a bringing home the knowledge of your retrograde experience. So you might get some sudden insights on what to do. So it's important, like what to do about your retrograde issue. So, around this day, I would carry a journal so that you can write down those little whispers, those little angel voices that go through your mind. Mercury being the messenger, it doesn't always shout. It could be a whisper, it could be an idea. It could be someone just coming to you with an idea. So, yeah, you want to be able to write that down and then revisit it once Mercury goes direct. So after that day, Mercury will continue to go backwards and be in Leo from the 18th to the 28th. So this is important to continue to gather more information. Mercury's pulling more things out of the subconscious into your conscious, more into the things that has stored in your mind and making you aware of things. Yeah, so this is just still a great time to continue to gather that information and not execute the plan. On August 28th, Mercury goes stations direct at 21 degrees Leo. I got the S here for stationing. And slowly, this is a great time to experiment what you've gathered during the retrograde. This is when we can start putting the plans together. You got a better picture of what's going on with the issues that arise during the retrograde. And then on September 12th, Mercury is out of the shadow period. And therefore, what is this doing? Back at 5 degrees. Well, now it's at 5 degrees Virgo. So out of when he went station retrograde, the out of shadow period is a wonderful time where it's easier to integrate with what you have learned during the retrograde, and you can move forward full speed ahead with your plans, with your agenda, and kind of bend reality. So that is like the big picture view of this transit. As Mercury is going retrograde, it is ruling Jupiter because Jupiter is in Gemini right now. And so you also want to think about where Jupiter is placed in your chart and how that story is evolving as Mercury goes retrograde. Because this retrograde is influencing Jupiter and how Jupiter performs throughout the year. So let's go ahead and talk about rising sign Aries. So if you're rising Aries, Mercury will be transiting your 6th and your 5th house. So this is the place of work and children or creativity. And so Mercury is going to help you review, rethink, restructure, replan, rework your work and your creativity. This retrograde will also help you expand upon opportunities in your local environment throughout the year. So because of Jupiter in your 3rd house of local environment, communities, your daily transits through in town, so these are the places like you go every day, like your coffee shop, speaking to your neighbor, talking with your siblings or your family members. This is it is expanding your opportunities here. So yeah, rethink about how you're performing at work. Do you even like the work that you do? Rethink how you are using your creativity? Or do you feel like you are enjoying your life in general? This is a time where Mercury is going to be activating these questions or bringing these questions up, and for you to think about it. For Taurus rising, Mercury will be transiting your fifth and fourth house, retrograding your fifth and fourth house. So you're going to be rethinking, reviewing, restructuring your creativity and home life. And because of Jupiter being affected, this retrograde will help you expand upon opportunities dealing with your income throughout the year. So, Jupiter might be expanding your income, like your ability to increase your income, and it's up to you to say yes. But in order to do that, this retrograde is really helping you rethink how you relate to your children, how you relate to your own creativity and your hobbies, and your home life. So, this could look like you're ready to start a business, a hobby business, and this is going to impact how you relate to your family. And so if you include them into your plans, this probably will be a good thing. And then again, it will help impact your income throughout the year, and increase it. So this is, something to consider with this retrograde. Gemini rising, Mercury retrogrades through your fourth and third house. So this is going to affect your home life and your connection to the local environment. So this retrograde, because it's affecting Jupiter, it's going to help you expand your opportunities dealing with your sense of direction and life trajectory. So Jupiter is in your first house, and expanding your perception of life and who you are. And hopefully you're not gaining weight, but that could do that too. And so watch what you eat. But instead of eating, maybe we should be learning. We should be trying to learn new skills so that it's going to help us say yes to opportunities that Jupiter is going to be presenting to you throughout the year, and that will change the trajectory of your life. But again, with Mercury going through your fourth and third house, we have to rethink how we relate to our home, our family, our sense of belonging, and then how we are communicating and connecting to our local environment. You might be changing your local environment, or your daily, routines, and who you talk to throughout the day. And that's good, because, you want to open up opportunities for your life to evolve and be better. Cancer rising, Mercury will be retrograding your third and second house. So this is impacting your connection to your environment as well as your money and your values. Because Jupiter is involved, this retrograde will help you learn lessons from past actions throughout the year. Jupiter is in your 12th house of self undoing, reflection, past lives, spiritual connections to divinity, endings. So Jupiter is giving you lessons about, about endings, about your mental health, and maybe you're studying about your mental health, studying about mental health in general and how it impacts the collective, and then, the collective impacting the individual. So with Mercury going through, how you connect to your local environment, who you connect to on the daily basis, as well as your values and your money. And this can change up your how you make money, how you want to make money based off of what you value, and having the insights about your mental health. Maybe you notice that the job that you have and the income you have is affecting your mental health, and you're ready to rework it and expand opportunities so that you can do better for yourself and your local environment. Leo rising. So Mercury will retrograde in your second house and first house. So this is going to help you rethink, your values, your money, and your trajectory of your life. With the retrograde, of course, because of Jupiter being impacting your Mercury is impacting Jupiter. This is going to expand your opportunities and how you deal with your friends, your network circles, and your wishes and your dreams throughout the year. So, Mercury is making you rethink about your money and how much your income, supports your lifestyle, maybe, and where you want to go. in the big picture of things, and how are your friends helping you get there? And so you're involving your friends in this and your networks in this, and you'll get a better picture of like how that's going throughout the year with this retrograde. Virgo rising. Virgo, Mercury will be retrograde in your first and your 12th house. So you'll be rethinking your trajectory of your life and your past, like how you got here based off of your past, how you got to the present moment based off of your past. Mercury is helping you rethink this, as well as your mental health. And because Jupiter is affected with this retrograde, you're expanding opportunities upon your dealings with career and your job throughout the year. So, you might be deciding you want to you want to pivot and pivot your trajectory of your life and say yes to different opportunities for work, so that your mental health is better. So this could be a thing as well. Libra rising. So Mercury retrograde is your 12th house and your 11th house. So you're rethinking your mental health, our past actions, and your connections to friends and your wishes and dreams. So, of course, with Jupiter being impacted with this retrograde, this will be expanding your opportunities upon your higher learning opportunities and mentorship opportunities throughout the year. So, check in with yourself. Think about your mental health and how you're connecting with your friends. Are you speaking with them about what you wish to happen? How can they be involved? And and help expand your mentorship. Opportunities. Either you're mentoring or you being mentored. So that you can leverage yourself in your career later. So that's for you. Scorpio rising, Mercury will retrograde in your 11th and 10th house. So this is reflecting on your friend group, your networks, and your career and your job. So this is, giving you some insight on like, what do you want to do? How are you going to pivot, if you're going to pivot at all? And the retrograde is impacting Jupiter. So that is expanding opportunities with intimacy issues that you might have throughout the year. And so, yeah, this is going to be like, diving deeper into that, how you connect with people in a vulnerable, real way. And coming together to achieve a bigger goal. So yeah, your friends and your work is going to be reworked so that those opportunities can unlock a lot more and leverage you and the relationships that you have for a better outcome. Sagittarius rising, the Mercury will retrograde in your career and job house and higher learning opportunities. So this, you gotta have to rework this. You gotta rethink about how you work, where you work, what's your reputation, and your learning opportunities. So you might be thinking about going back to school. And this retrograde, could expand your opportunities dealing with your partnerships and your spouse. So, going back to school will somehow impact, if you're thinking about that, to better your career opportunities. This is going to maybe, expand your ability to make better partnerships, or get married, or or expand your, your marriage pool. And where was I going with that? Yeah, so this is going to help you figure that out, who you're partnering with. If you are married, that's where I was going with this. If you are married, it kind of like bring more opportunities for you and your spouse to do better together. So moving on to Capricorn, 9th house, 8th house, Mercury is going to be retrograde in. And so this is going to make you rethink your learning opportunities and dealing with other people's resources and intimacy issues. So with Jupiter being involved with this retrograde there, it will help you expand your opportunities dealing with your work and your physical health journey throughout the year. So These are tied together. So how are, what are you getting your degree in? Are you in school? Are you thinking about going to school? How do you deal with loans and banks and all this stuff? You might have be considering this and helping you improve your work situation and your health, your physical health throughout the year. So this is the retrograde it's going to be helping you with. Aquarius rising. So 8th house, 7th house is going to be reflected upon. So this is dealing with other people's resources, intimate issues, and partnerships. So your spouse, your business partner, how you deal with people on a one-on-one basis, could be clients. And with Jupiter being involved with this retrograde, this is going to help you expand upon opportunities dealing with your own creativity, your hobby business, and or children if you have kids or other people's children, just in general, how you relate to children. And yeah, so we're going to have to think about your intimacy and how you're willing to be open and vulnerable with people, if that's even accessible to you, and why not, and who you're partnered with, and rethinking that, what are the roles in the relationship, and that ties into your creativity and your hobbies and your children as well. Pisces rising. So if you are Pisces rising, Mercury retrograde will be impacting your partnerships and your place of work. So we will be rethinking about how we relate to people, who we relate to, who are good partners to us, and how we want to perform at work. What is our work? And so with Jupiter being involved with this retrograde, this is really expanding your opportunities upon your home life and sense of belonging. So, maybe you're thinking about getting a house, maybe you're thinking about getting roommates, maybe you're thinking about um, expanding the home. So Jupiter could be really opening these up for you, but we got to rethink about partnerships. Who are we connected to? And what kind of work do we have? And is this sustainable? Is this going to help, Jupiter unlock these opportunities for ourselves? So thinking about that with the retrograde, it's going to be good. So that is the Mercury retrograde I wanted to reveal. We're going to be thinking about all these things. And again, like, you want to look at your solar return chart, because that also has a say to how this retrograde is going. I know, like, for me, I have like Aquarius rising. So, I would look back on that mini reading and think about how Mercury is making you reflect upon these places that it's transiting. And then it goes stations direct on August 28th. So at 21 degrees Leo. Okay, so that is my insight on this retrograde during Leo season. If you are wanting a one-on-one reading with me, I have that available. So just email me at latoya@emeraldastrology.com or emeraldastrology@gmail.com. You can book a 15-minute reading with just tarot for $33, or you can book a tarot or astrology reading that's 30 minutes long for $63. Right? So I hope you have a great retrograde experience. And yeah, let me know in the comments if this video resonates, makes sense to you. How does it make sense? How do you see this retrograde is going to impact you? I'd love to chat with you about it. All right. Good luck. Bye.